Number 10. Honda Shadow Aero. Some bikes whisper when others shout, and this is one of them. The 745 cubic centimeters V-twin hums with a mechanical purr that settles into your chest at idle, never demanding attention, but always ready to respond. You swing a leg over and both feet plant flat. No tiptoe dance, no awkward lean. Picture rolling through downtown at dawn, carving between cars with the bars falling exactly where your hands want them. That narrow tank lets your knees grip naturally. The fuel injection snaps clean off every stoplight. Highway riding stays comfortable longer than expected. The buzz never arrives. Your hands stay happy. But around hour 3, that minimalist saddle starts negotiating. The styling looks stripped down, yet the engineering underneath runs deep. This is Honda solving the everyday rider's problem without bothering to brag about it. Simple rarely feels this complete. It's approachable, dependable, and never pretends to be more than it is. Number 9. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Air-cooled V-twins have a voice that liquid-cooled motors can't fake. And when you thumb the starter on this 942 cubic centimeters beast, you hear exactly what that means. The exhaust note has texture, weight. It thumps through your ribcage with rhythm that makes you want a short shift just to hear it again. The R-Spec adds piggyback rear shocks and a seat shaped like someone actually sat on it before approving production. You'd expect a cruiser to wallow through corners, but the first sweeper rewrites that assumption. The front end tracks with precision. You realize Yamaha built this for riders who lean, not just cruise. Summer traffic reveals the compromise. That air-cooled lump radiates heat like a campfire between your knees. But crack the throttle on an empty back road and the mid-range torque surges in thick, meaty waves. The Bolt R-Spec doesn't care about blending in. It's honest, characterful, and built for riders who appreciate mechanical soul over refinement. But character alone doesn't win wars. The next bike trades charm for capability. Number 8. Suzuki SV650. This 645 cubic centimeter V-twin has survived 2 decades by doing something rare in motorcycling. Being honest. No fairings pretending it's a superbike. No chrome suggesting it's something classic. Just a naked middleweight that shows up ready for anything. The engine fires with an offbeat pulse, that 90-degree V-twin character giving it a heartbeat instead of a scream. You're filtering through rush hour, and the narrow bars slip through gaps you'd swear were too tight. Then, Saturday arrives, and suddenly those same bars are flickering through canyon apexes, the lightweight chassis changing direction before you finish the thought. New riders discover the throttle forgives. Experienced hands find the power ceiling arrives late enough to stay interesting. The wind hits your chest around 70, and fuel stops arrive every 200 miles. But the simplicity means you're adding continence to the odometer, while others are bleeding money on maintenance. The SV650 never wins magazine shootouts. It just outlasts everything else in the real world. It's the sensible choice that somehow never feels boring, though sensible only gets you so far when tradition comes calling. Number 7. Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic. Teardrop tank, skirted fenders, chrome accents that catch afternoon light just right. This looks like a Saturday afternoon in 1952, but the water pump and belt drive tell a different story. That 903 cubic centimeter engine runs cool, even when the temperature gauge in your car is pleading for mercy. The torque lives down low where you actually ride, pulling away from lights in third gear without drama, barely touching 3,000 revolutions per minute. Hour 1 in the saddle feels like sitting on your porch. Hour 3 feels the same. The upright position and forward pegs create angles that your joints actually appreciate. Push it into the twisties and the soft suspension starts floating, reminding you this chassis was tuned for comfort, not carving. The physics of that classic styling create wind resistance above 70. It's not trying to be something modern. It's delivering the cruiser experience your dad remembers, with the reliability your mechanic appreciates. The Vulcan plays it safe and wins on consistency, but safe doesn't stir the soul. What comes next abandons safe entirely. Number 6. Honda Shadow Phantom. Black engine, black wheels, black pipes. Even the bolts got the murdered out treatment, creating a silhouette that looks like it broke out of a film noir. That 745 cubic centimeters V-twin thumps with enough character to feel authentic, but enough refinement to start every morning without drama. You're sitting low, center of gravity dropped so far down, the bike feels 100 pounds lighter than the scale claims. Parking lots stop being intimidating because your feet aren't just touching, they're planted. The narrow seat might look like form over function until you're threading lanes downtown, knees gripping that slim tank, handlebar whipping through traffic with sport bike agility. Then the interstate arrives. No windshield means the air hits your chest like a steady hand pushing back. The seat starts getting opinions around mile 80. That bobber styling that photographs so well doesn't leave room for luggage or comfortable passengers. But solo rides through the city at dusk, streetlights reflecting off all that black engine growling at every stoplight? The Phantom owns that moment completely. It's style with just enough substance, but substance is about to get serious. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Low Rider ST. The Milwaukee 8117 doesn't whisper. It announces. That 1,923cc engine shoves you backward with force that feels excessive until you remember what this bike actually is. Full bags, passenger seat, a fairing. This is a mile eater disguised as a performance cruiser, and those 117 cubic inches are the reason it works. Load it down for a weekend trip, add your passenger, then attack a mountain pass. The passing power arrives without hunting for gears. The suspension holds composed through corners that would have traditional baggers wallowing. You're leaned over, bags nearly scraping, wondering when Harley learned to build bikes that carve. That small fairing looks decorative until highway speeds reveal its purpose, deflecting wind without creating the goldfish bowl effect. The electronics offer ride modes that actually change personality, not just blink different colors. Parking lots demand respect. This weight isn't going anywhere without your full attention. The premium sits in the price tag, but the capability sitting underneath earns its keep. It's impressive, muscular, and unapologetically American. Yet even this isn't the boldest thing Milwaukee builds. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Breakout 117. This machine doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. The stretched front end and raked geometry create a profile that looks like it's moving while standing still, and when that Milwaukee 8117 barks to life, everyone within 3 blocks knows something serious just woke up. Twist the throttle, and 1,923 cubic centimeters of American displacement launches that extended front end with authority that borders on absurd. You're not riding, you're making a statement. The 240mm rear tire telegraphs every road imperfection through the bars, demanding smooth inputs and rewarding precision. Corners happen, but they require planning because this chassis was engineered for straight-line dominance, not apex hunting. The riding position puts you in a laid-back posture that looks incredible and feels perfect until hour 2 questions your lower back's opinion. No windshield means highway speeds above 65 turn your chest into a sail. But roll into a parking lot and watch heads turn. Watch phones come out. The Breakout 117 isn't trying to be practical. It's art that happens to have a throttle. Pure theater with Milwaukee muscle backing every scene. Though theater has its limits when versatility enters the conversation. Number 3. Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. Adventure bike or sport tourer? The V-Strom refuses to pick a side, and that refusal becomes its greatest strength. That 1,037 cubic centimeters engine produces 107 horsepower, but delivers it with a smoothness that feels almost electric. The V-twin growl reminding you cylinders are definitely involved. You're crawling through a gravel parking lot, suspension soaking up rocks and ruts. Then suddenly, you're on a perfect ribbon of asphalt, and that same bike is humming at 90 with the engine barely working. The DE adds spoked wheels and longer suspension travel that aren't cosmetic. Drop it onto a Forest Service road and the capability reveals itself immediately. Wide bars give leverage for standing. The skid plate actually protects. The upright position lets you weight the pegs properly. Then civilization returns and the adjustable windscreen raises into a wall that turns highway slogs into background noise. The electronics include ride modes and cornering ABS that work invisibly until the moment they save you from your own optimism. Range stretches past 300 miles. But tip it over on loose ground and you're recruiting help to muscle 500+ pounds upright. It's masterfully engineered, remarkably versatile, and built for riders who refuse to own 3 bikes when one will do the job. Yet versatility isn't the same as specialization, and what's coming next specializes in something far more focused. Number 2. Indian Sport Scout. Indian took their middleweight platform and asked one dangerous question. What if a cruiser could actually dance? That 1,133cc liquid-cooled engine makes 100 horsepower, but the real magic lives in how it delivers that power. The torque curve stays fat from just above idle through redline, creating a flexibility that eliminates the constant gear hunting other bikes demand. You're rolling through second gear at 4,000 revolutions per minute and it pulls. Drop it to 2,500, and it still pulls. The riding position angles you forward just enough to weight the bars during spirited riding without pinning your wrists during casual cruises. Then a corner appears, and the upgraded suspension shows why Indian bothered. The front fork soaks up mid-corner bumps without deflecting. The rear tracks with confidence that shouldn't exist on a bike wearing cruiser styling. The cast aluminum frame stays rigid under hard acceleration and aggressive braking. That belt drive transmitting power with a smoothness chains can't match. The seat drops low enough for confidence at stops but stays wide enough for all-day comfort. This is what happens when engineers stop asking whether cruisers can be sporty and just prove it. Indian built something refined, balanced, and deeply impressive. It's nearly perfect for what it is. But nearly perfect isn't the same as legendary, and legends are built on excess. Number 1. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The first time you see the 1,783 cubic centimeters engine displacement number, you assume it's a typo. It's not. Suzuki built this V-twin with the kind of excess that makes accountants nervous and riders grin like idiots. Thumb the starter and the engine fires with a bass note that rattles windows and announces your presence 3 blocks ahead. The fuel injection tames what could be a monster into something almost civil around town, but that civility is paper thin. Roll the throttle on an empty straightaway and the acceleration feels wrong, like physics forgot to account for something this heavy moving this fast. The inverted fork up front belongs on a sport bike, and once you're leaned over in a corner, you understand why Suzuki spec'd it. The handling defies the 764-pound curb weight, that 54-degree V-twin banking angle keeping the mass centralized where it helps instead of fighting you. The shaft drive spins silently, transmitting power without the mechanical noise that reminds you maintenance exists. The radial mount brakes haul you down with confidence that matches the absurd acceleration. The riding position plants you in command rather than laying you back, letting you attack roads that were supposed to intimidate. The M109R doesn't apologize for being too much. It proves too much is exactly enough when the engineering backs it up. This isn't just the biggest displacement on the list. It's the most complete expression of what a V-twin muscle cruiser can be when restraint gets thrown out entirely.